Hello everybody, Snow Matrix here. This is Crossfell, 893 meters above sea level. Welcome to my Pennine Way adventure. So the first day I went from Edale to Crowden, about 15.7 miles. I'm adding my GPX tracks from my ViewRanger app, and this will show you the terrain that I encountered along the way. So here I am at the start of the Pennine Way with at least 268 miles ahead of me. I didn't want to get my GoPro out at the real start because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning and I didn't want to disturb anyone. You wouldn't believe it, but yesterday it was 33 degrees in London. Up here today it's not 33 degrees. I have to say that I found the way marking at the start of the walk not that very good, so although it's a national trail you will need to navigate, so don't forget you have to have a map, a compass, or like me I have all that, but my primary navigation is the ViewRanger app, so don't forget that because it's quite tricky the first day to navigate over Kinder Scout and across and Kinder Downfall and Bleaklow and all that, because like I said the way marking is not very good and it's not supposed to be up there. It's a mountain basically. I am having a few microphone problems, so please bear with me for the first day or two of these videos. Still on this path. I'll tell you something, this must have been really tough back in the day before they put these stones, these flagstones down here. Look at the bog. Well, like it's not really muddy today, but this would have been murder. So that was Ashop Moor, apparently 7,000 years old, the bog's there. So this is Bleaklow Head, the cane at Bleaklow Head. It certainly looks bleak out here. Pennine Way goes on that way. Now pathless bogs here. Reminds me a little bit of the Hebrides. Following marker posts through this kind of difficult terrain, but as you can see down there, that's where just heading in that direction. That's where the GPS is telling me, so not too difficult. So after driving overnight from London, I was glad to get to Crowden and to the campsite, I can tell you that. So day 2 is from the campsite at Crowden to a wild camp high on White Hill, just over 15 miles. Morning everyone, start of day 2. Just leaving Cowden campsite, which is down there. All you'll find there is a campsite, but that's all you need. A little shop as well in the campsite. Very nice stay. So there's the route ahead for this morning, heading up towards Laddow Rocks and beyond. Once you gain the heights of the ridge, you can see that it opens up into a really airy and really nice ridge walk now. across the rocks. I can see why, like back in the day, the Pennine Way was nicknamed Blood, Sweat and Tears. Should that be Mud, Sweat and Tears? Sorry, not blood. Mud, Sweat and Tears. Whoever put these flagstones down now needs a big medal. Because this would have been murder through this bog field high up here. Beautiful day, absolutely breathtaking day. Doesn't matter if it's not warm, there's no sun, it's just brilliant to be out here in the elements. Approaching the summit of Black Hill, approximately 1,903 feet above sea level, and it's definitely not summer up here. Framing the landscape. Many people look, but only a few see. I think this is very apt for long distance walking. Many people rush, don't take their time, just concentrate on getting from one point to the other. That's not what it's about for me. It's seeing things I won't see stuck in London. And this is Black Moss Moor. The wind hasn't let up all day today, all day yesterday. Continuous wind. Made it a little bit tricky. So this is day 2's wild camp. It was getting to about 7 o'clock. There was absolutely nowhere to camp, nowhere to stay, no bed and breakfast, no nothing. You had to take a long walk into the towns down there, or take a taxi, call a taxi or hitchhike. There is nothing on this section, and the weather all day, non-stop wind. Luckily it's stopped now, but it was a little, while I was putting the tent up, it was a bit windy. And I was a bit worried, because this is going to be its first exposed campsite test. Because like you would know if you saw my last video on my Pennine Way kit, I left behind my Terra Nova. When I was putting this tent up, I was beginning to wish I should have brought it. But it's doing so right now. It kind of buckles and sways a bit. The pole inside kind of sways backwards, but it's that, it doesn't move or anything. So let's see how it goes if I survive the night. I'm camped right next to this fence here, but there's nothing down there. I think that's a sheep fence or something. It says on there. So doesn't matter. I'm not moving here now. Good morning everyone, start of day 3, you can see, beautiful sunrise. What a reward for staying up here. The tent was fine, no problem during the night. The wind, it shed the wind really well, really impressed with it. Bit of condensation this morning, but that's no problem. Now the wind has died down, you're bound to get condensation in any tent, so really pleased with the 6 Moons Design Lunar Solo. Day 3 is from the wild camp at White Hill, and at the end of the day I took the Hebden Bridge Loop, which is an extra section, to visit that funky town. So this is the motorway. that I could hear briefly last night in between the wind. And here's the crossing. Pennine Way goes on up that way. I don't know if you've ever read Into the Woods, I think, but there's a bit in that that says never look at the map. So that's where I am, and all that to go. Approaching the start of Leslie's Adventures Reservoir Walks. Check out her channel on YouTube if you haven't already. My first sighting of Stoodley Pike, the monument there, see, in the straight ahead over there. Still a long walk to get to it. Heading towards the pike. It's really nice weather today, just a gentle breeze, clouds, so no sun on your back or anything like that. Perfect walking conditions. Descending down into Hepton Bridge. So, after a 17-mile day, a couple of detours into a place called Manny Crowes or something, which said there was a campsite in the book, but no campsite there, so I've had to come all the way back. I'm in Hepton Bridge now. I thought I'd treat myself to a bed and breakfast. No wild camping tonight.